Well guys, what did I tell ya? I'm back with another corrugating video. So, my uncle's had it all day. He just got done though, so now I'm gonna take it. Although, I probably should say we are done with wheat. We've got all the wheat fields around here corrugated. So now we're gonna be doing some hay fields. Like that one right there. But that's not the first one. So, yeah, I'm gonna get started. Hopefully I can get a couple fields done this evening. Okay, so the field I'm going to is just south of my house here a little ways. So, I will catch up with you guys when I get there. Okay, I just got to the field. Like I said, it's just a little bit south of my house. Right there. So this is an 18-acre field. It's kind of short, but it's long, so there's gonna be a lot of passes. But anyways, it is nice with hay. We're just re-corrugating out the corrugates from, I guess this has been in a few years, so these corrugates are kind of old. But what's nice is we only have to pull out the ends up here at the top, because at the bottom, you don't really need them. The water gets to the ditch and it waters everything fine. So it's nice to have that smooth without any corrugates, so that when we stack the hay bales off, we can drive down the bottom of the field and it's smooth. So I don't even have to pull up to the ditch and stop. You just get to the certain point, lift up, turn around, and come back up. So anyways, gonna get it unfolded here. That wiper really does get in the way. Fold these. And I'll get my GPS set up and I'll get rolling here. Okay, so I've made it about halfway across the field. So it's going kind of slow because I have to turn around so much, but I have to go a little bit faster speed-wise than I did wheat, so that kind of makes up for it. Going about 5 miles an hour. Still doing 3 feet wide. So doesn't take much. It's just pulling the little bits of dirt that are kind of filling up the corrugates from the past year, and it cleans them out, and it doesn't look a whole lot different, but it definitely makes a difference when it comes time to irrigate. So anyways, I'm coming up to the end here, and you can, yeah, maybe you can't see too well. Right here is where I've been lifting up, and then we leave the whole bottom empty, like I said, for the uncorrugated, not empty. You leave the bottom uncorrugated for the stacker, and then it's nice for everything else too. So I just turn around and set the GPS up again, and it'll get me lined up. It is nice with past corrugates because you kind of get an idea of where you're going, but you set it down and head back to the top. Okay, so I just got out to move this. It sits on that thing, but we had cows out here and it was laying right there, so I slid it over because there's no way I'm going to be able to lift that onto here by myself. Enough work to get it moved right there. It's heavier than it looks. So anyway, it typically sits on this. This is where, over by that tree right there, there's a pipe, or there's a pond over there, and the water comes in by the pond and from the ditch that feeds the top of this field, and then it comes into from the ditch. It splits right there, and it falls down into a pipe that comes from the pond, so they connect, and that comes here. So then we can use tins to direct the water either way. So this field can you can order water to irrigate it, or a lot of times we'll just use it or irrigate it with wastewater. And there's a siphon tube in there. I don't know how that got in there, but it'll be used soon. So yeah, you can kind of see the cows walked right here a lot. It's pretty packed. And then you can see, while cows might not be the smartest animals in some places, they do have some interesting habits, I guess you could say. One of them is this. This is a cow trail, and cows like to walk in the same spot every time. So you could see as they would come in off the pivot field over there or any of these, they made this trail and they stick to it. So they'd follow it up, and it went through this field too. That's what I was corrugating in the last video, that wheat. But then they had a trail that went all the way up to the house over there because there's a watering trough that they were drinking out of. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's not very nice in hay though, because then you gotta hope your corrugate kind of digs through there, because this gets kind of hard. But anyways, that's enough talking. I'm gonna get back to corrugating. Okay, so I got going again. I kind of had to go over that spot a couple times, but I think I've got decent corrugates now. I don't know, we might have to get the loader and bring a little bit of dirt in up here, because there's a spot up here where the cows really trampled the ground right next to the ditch. So up here it looks better. I think the water will do fine there, but back there I feel like it might pond right by the ditch and it won't go down one corrugate like up here yet. So I don't know, we'll see what happens there. But up here at the top of the field, I'm still having to pull out the ends. So the top of the field takes a lot longer than the bottom, just because of pulling out ends. Just come out a little ways. Up, get back over and grab the next pass. Okay, well I just finished this field, 6-acre field. It took just over 2 hours because of all the turning around you have to do, and here at the top there were some areas where I was thinking, just to be safe, I'd pull it out twice. So I pulled out the area right next to the ditch a couple times, just to make sure we got a good corrugate, because once it's out in the field it's fine, there's no problems. But if it's all crossing right here at the top of the field, and you have 3 siphon tubes trying to go down 3 corrugates, but they're all crossing going down one, then you're just playing with the shovel all day, and that's not very fun. So spent a little extra time doing that, pulling out the very top of the field. And then as I got over here, that cow trail I showed you guys, I did that twice, that area through there, just to get it corrugated out deeper. So anyways, I'm gonna fold up now, and I don't think you can see it. There's a hayfield right there at the across from this one. Over up in there, there's a 22-acre field. I'm gonna go and hopefully get done corrugating tonight. Okay guys, I brought the tractor back to our shop. This is our old shop. And I'm gonna raise up the outside 2 shanks, because this next field I'm going to, and the one after that, when we planted and originally corrugated, we didn't have this big bar. The one we had, I guess we still have it, but it only goes to here. So there's not, this outside shank on both sides doesn't exist. So we bedded it up at a width of 25 feet instead of 30. And now we technically could go in and try make it work with the 30-foot bar, but with the way the GPS is, it's just gonna work better if we do it with 25 feet. So I'm gonna lift up these outside shanks, and I have to go into the GPS of the tractor and reset the width to do 10 rows instead of 12. So anyways, I'm gonna do that real quick, and then I'm gonna head out to the field. Okay, so you can see those outside shanks are sticking up. And now I come into the GPS here, and here it's a 12 row 30 inch. So we're doing 12 30-inch rows, because 30 inches between each corrugate. We go in here and we have 10 rows 30. And so now, we have to come out here. It's a corrugator. So now we change our track spacing from 30 to 25 feet. So it'll go a little bit slower now, but it's nice that at least now we only have 2 fields like that. We've got the one right here, that's where I'm going now. I'm gonna start at the other end though. And then we have one directly east of here. We actually have 4 hay fields all together, and I think the one is on the pivot, and then there's 3 that I have to corrugate probably tomorrow. I'm not gonna get there today, so yeah, that'll be tomorrow's project. So anyways, now that I have everything set up, I'm gonna head out and get rolling in the next field. Okay, well, I just got set up in the next field, doing the shorter width. So I have this little bit of long rows right here, and then we moved to some shorter rows. So I wish it was all long rows, because it goes a little bit faster that way, and it's nicer because you don't have to turn around as much. But anyways, we'll be out here for a couple hours, I bet. But so far, it's doing pretty good. Pretty good job. Okay, well, I just got done with these long rows. You can see right there. So getting started on the short rows. They're not terribly short, but they're shorter, so that's why we call them short rows. So anyways, these are still going good. It's about, that clock's a little slow. It's about 8 o'clock. Sun's setting. So I don't know how much longer I'll go. I'll probably quit about 9 tonight. So I'll just go as long as I can, and then since my house is right there, I'll just drive this home, and either probably just leave it in the field right outside. So, but until that point, I'll see how much I can do in the next hour. Okay, so I've come a little ways down the short rows, started right up in there. I've gotten over this hill. This is a rock spot right here. There's a little bit of it's actually solid rock above the ground. You can kind of see it in the corrugates. But I think I'm through it now. It's just a hill. So things are still going pretty good, which they should. I don't expect very many issues with corrugating. The only issue I'm somewhat having is I have to keep shifting the GPS. But that's how it was in the last film. That's kind of the only issue you ever get when you are doing something in pre-existing corrugates. So I just use my GPS to skip around. I guess I mentioned that in the last video. But and try to get lined up with. It is nice to be able to kind of line it up myself because I can do it a little bit quicker than the GPS can sometimes. So it's nice to be able to line up with my front tires, well, both of them, in corrugate. Then turn on the GPS and back up. You can see back here all the fresh dirt that goes down. We brought in a bunch of dirt, and because there's hay here, in a lot of fields we'll dump piles of dirt with the dump truck down the ditch bank, and then we have our grader that we'll use to push it up against the bank. But since there's hay there, we didn't want to bury the hay, so instead we dumped dirt. My dad just put it in random piles along the other side of the ditch, and I guess it was both my dad and I, we kind of took turns with the loader, and we'd get a scoop of dirt and then we just kind of dump it along the ditch bank. And we did that for a while, and then my dad came along with the grader and built up this ditch bank and left some nice dirt here on the ground so that we get nice deep corrugates at the top. So anyways, I better keep going. I was hoping to finish this field tonight, but I'm kind of wanting to quit at 9, and it's 8:30 now. So I don't think I'm going to finish tonight. Just go like that. You kind of want to move fast because it throws the dirt down there a little more. But anyways. Okay guys, well, I'm quitting for the night. It's about 9:30 now. So I brought it over here by the house because I didn't want to walk. So anyways, according to the GPS right there, that's the row number 52. So I was on 40. So I have about 12 passes left about. So hopefully I can be done within 30 minutes tomorrow. And then I'll head that way, east. And I got 3 fields to do over there, 1 field over that way, and then I might be going up north about a mile to do a couple fields of my uncle's. I'll see what he wants to do, and maybe I won't even get to that point tomorrow. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video, so thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.